All right, this is Srini, the host and co-founder of Blogcast FM, and I'm here at Blogworld LA 2011 in the booth of our new sponsor, Livefire. And I'm talking to a guy who really embodies success in the blogosphere, somebody I have a tremendous amount of respect for, who's been a guest on Blogcast FM multiple times, Pat Flynn from the Smart Passive Income blog. How's it going, Pat?
Good. What's up, everybody?
So, Pat, you this is your first time speaking at Blogworld, but you've been here as an attendee multiple times. You know, you've been wildly successful with everything you've done online. Watching your journey is probably one of the most inspiring ones we've ever seen. Tell us a little bit about it and kind of, what kinds of opportunities have emerged. I mean, you started this how long ago at this point?
About 3 years ago, really, when things started to pick up. I mean, I've had blogs before, just talking about what I had for lunch, in college and stuff, and just to see that, friends and family were interested in that stuff and they can see what I was doing online really taught me the power behind a blog. And then when I got laid off from the architecture industry, as most of the people know who have listened to those interviews, I was like, maybe a blog is a great way to teach people how to do stuff. And it was because blogs taught me how to do things, and podcasts too. And that's why my brand now has expanded out into iTunes for a podcast, which has been wildly successful. I mean, blew me away. Actually, in my presentation I talked about yesterday, I showed some statistics about, I asked my followers on my blog, how did you find me? I did one question survey, and the question was, how did you find me? The number one answer, iTunes. So most people who read my blog found me on iTunes, which is just blew me away. I mean, I had no idea the reach and capability of a podcast to bring people back to my blog. And so it's a great untapped resource. I mean, there's how many blogs out there? Like 36 million blogs, which is amazing. And how many podcasts are there? Less than 200,000, I think. So it's definitely an untapped resource. And that's why I'm kind of expanding out into the, onto voice now. And there's just something behind the power of the voice, to convey emotion, really connect with people. I mean, you could do that with the blog, yes, absolutely, with text and stuff, but really, really trying to stand out of the crowd and be different by incorporating a podcast and videos into a blog is, I think, the next step for a lot of people who feel like that, maybe you're blogging and things are going well, but, you want more and you want to become a brand. I think that's the best way to go.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I'll be speaking a bit about this. I think you brought up a key point in terms of the ability to build a connection with your audience when you do that kind of stuff. And I always say, imagine the difference between somebody who listens to your voice, 45 minutes 3 times a week or 15 minutes once a week versus somebody who reads your blog, maybe for 2 minutes at a time, and you're one of maybe 100 blogs that they read every day. And I think that makes such a huge difference.
And the thing about podcasts is, when people listen to you, they subscribe to your show and they download your new shows, they put those headphones on and it's just you and them. And there's no distractions, no ads, no exit button like there is on a web page. So it's really important to think about utilizing those other kinds of media.
Well, you write in an area which some people might consider overcrowded or fairly saturated, and you've managed to really stand out. And I know there are a bunch of people who are aspiring, personal finance bloggers, people who write about earning income online. What do you think is the key to standing out in a crowded niche based on your experience?
Well, a couple things. I mean, some stuff I just talked about is expanding onto those other mediums where nobody is at, which makes my brand seem like, it makes people feel like I know more about the subject than others who just have a blog. I'm not just a blogger, but also, and for me, this is the most important thing, is just being totally transparent and totally honest about everything. There's so much noise out there. There's so many people just, playing off of people's hypes and dreams and stuff like that, and just hyping everything up. You can't. If you tell it like it is, there's nothing they can say about that. I mean, that's how it is, and that I report about different case studies and experiments that I do as far as making money online, and that's real life stuff. I'm not saying you can maybe make money by doing something that I'd never done before. Just keep it real. It's always about keeping it real. Whatever niche you're in, do case studies and experiments and give as much information away as possible, and help people who want to do the same thing as you understand the best angle to go in at it, knowing what's the pros, the cons, and everything. Don't just keep everything one-sided. Give people the best, the best knowledge as far as how to potentially get into whatever you're doing.
Well, I think to me, what you talk about is very indicative based on kind of the audience that you had yesterday at your speaking gig. You know, Chris Ducker even said to me, he's like, you know, Pat has such a powerful community. They literally hang on his every word, and I think it really is. Who was it? I remember, I think the funniest tweet I saw at Blog World when I met you the first time is, Pat Flynn is so nice it makes me sick, and that was from Jordan Cooper.
Jordan Cooper said that. He's like, I can never make fun of Pat Flynn because there's just nothing to make fun of him about. I mean, which is awesome coming from Jordan. I mean, I love Jordan.
Well, I think, like I said, when we were in your speech yesterday and you know, you had some technical issues, it was amazing. I think it was very clear that you've got this amazing relationship with your community just from the support from the audience. And tell us about the speaking gig and your whole experience with speaking and becoming a speaker at Blog World. I know you did one speaking gig before this, and you know, you're now just starting to get out there as a speaker. This is really kind of your entry into this area.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's something I've always wanted to do, but something I've always been really scared to do. And I was invited to speak at the Financial Blogger Conference a couple of weeks ago. And I was thinking about it, and you know, I was really scared, but I said, yes, let's do it. You know, just going out there and doing something that makes me totally uncomfortable, putting myself out there and seeing what happens. And you know, I did pretty well in that one, I hear. And this one, I did have some technical problems, but I fought through them, and you know, people appreciated the information I had to give to them. And speaking is a lot of fun. It's very fulfilling, and I feel like when I'm on stage and I'm there talking, I sort of zone out, and then I go up there, people clap because I just got introduced, and then I like wake up and it's over, and I don't know what just happened. You know, it feels like when I was back in marching band and I was about to step on the field, and then I'd perform, and then all of a sudden I'm done, and I'm like, what just happened? And you know, people are applauding and clapping because we just had a really awesome show or played some great music, and it's bringing back those great feelings I had as a performer. Which you can't do on a blog or even on a podcast or video sometimes. So it's a whole different world. I'm loving it. I'm learning so much about how to convey a message in front of people live. It's really cool.
Absolutely. I mean, you were fantastic. I caught the first half of it. I think the fact that I could only stay for the first half is really indicative of how many great speakers are at this year's Blog World. Any particular favorites that you had from the sessions that you've been able to attend?
Well, Darren Rouse obviously is always a great speaker. I went to Chris Ducker's presentation about VAs, virtualbusinesslifestyle.com. That was a great speech. Really connected with me because working with a VA is something that I've recently started to do, and that's something everyone should potentially think about. I actually haven't attended any more than that because I was actually preparing for my presentation the rest of the time. I was up till 6 in the morning both days, and the first 2 days just preparing. And it paid off because I had technical problems and I was able to memorize everything. So.
Well, Pat, any big things we can expect from Smart Passive Income over the next couple of months? I mean, what else do you have going on? I know when we had last spoke, you mentioned you're going to be working on a product, and I think people have been asking you, Pat, when are you going to give us a product for a long time, haven't they?
They have, and the thing is, you know, I know I have opportunity to make a lot more money by doing that, but I don't want to take advantage of my community ever, and I want to, when I come out with a product, to just have it blow people's minds. So I'm working on it. It's getting done. I'm spending a lot of time making sure that when people go through it, it's going to be the best thing that they've ever, you know, invested in. So it's going to take some time. You know, it's pretty much done, but I'm just fine tuning things, and I don't want to put any crap out there. You know, it's always the best stuff that I want to put out on Smart Passive Income.
So one final question: any advice for people who are just getting started with this and are new to all of this?
Yeah, absolutely. Just do it. You know, don't let anything hold you back. Step out of your comfort zone and just do it. Whatever it is that you want to do. I mean, yeah, learn a bit about it so you can get started off on the right foot, but you don't have to be perfect. If you're shooting video, don't worry so much about what you look like and you know, saying all the time. It's fine. Just do it, get it out there. The more you do it, the better you'll get over time. I mean, my first podcasts were terrible. My first video especially was just, I cannot watch it anymore. But that was a learning experience, and it's all about learning, taking what you learn and applying it to the next thing that you do.
Pat, thanks so much for taking the time to share some of your thoughts.
Thank you.